We're back and we're taking your calls live. Again, we're live tonight and taking calls at 855-DR-Drew-5, 855-DR-Drew-5. And you've been wanting to weigh in on many topics. We're talking about John Edwards tonight. I'm answering your questions. Right now I'm joined by my Loveline co-host, Simone Bienne. Thank you, Simone, for joining us. I appreciate it. Let's get right to the phone lines again. Who do we have here first? I believe I've got CJ on the line, California. What's up, CJ?
Hi, Dr. Drew.
Hi, CJ.
Hi, I want to know, why is it that when men do decide to cheat, why is it that they always get the bottom of the barrel type women?
That's CJ's. Oh, Simone's saying yes. And maybe that's just your perspective on them if they were the ones that cheated with your man. You know what I mean?
Well, interestingly, I've come across studies that actually say that men who cheat tend to actually cheat down. So CJ's exactly right. Normally mistresses can be less attractive than their wives.
Interesting.
My point is maybe the nice women are in the houses being good wives, and the not so good women and the less attractive women are out there doing the dirty.
Wow.
Not a clinical perspective.
Mind you. But there is a point there, is that women's priorities. Steve was talking about the male priorities. Women priorities are in sustaining relationships, and as such, the happier ones, the ones that are able to be more successful in managing their priorities, are not as available.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why studies also show, sorry, I'm chuckling, that when men get married, their overall happiness goes up.
Yeah.
And when women get married, their overall happiness can sometimes come down because they have such an investment in the relationship and making sure that everything's all right and feeling that they're caretaking and looking after everything.
And we as men are just so good at relationships, we make our female partners so happy.
This man is.
Easy,
this man
easy
is.
now, Simone. Okay. Sharon in Connecticut. Go right ahead, Sharon.
My question is, do you think cheating men are the narcissistic type of person?
Yeah, it's a great question, Sharon. What do you think, Simone?
I think there are different types. I think there are men who cheat who are emotionally wounded and who are...
And many of those are chronic cheaters. They can't stand emotional intimacy, and they distance themselves through sex.
Yeah,
Often those are sex addicts, let's face it.
Okay, but if we take it one down from the sex addicts, the men who, and you deal with the sex addicts specifically, and I deal with sort of the healthier neurotics who have some kind of dysfunction and, you know, they've come across some pain in their childhood, but they aren't able to express what they need to say in words. And so, no, in my experience, they're not always narcissistic, and they don't always do it out of a sense of entitlement, like John Edwards.
I agree with you. I agree. However, those kinds of injuries, we're getting a little technical here on you guys. No. I mean, I want to. Those sorts of injuries, what was my caller's the first name? I've already lost her. Sharon. Those sorts of injuries, Sharon, that Simone is talking about, tend to result in narcissistic defense strategies. So these guys may appear somewhat narcissistic, and they may need to keep themselves propped up by other people's approval and success in the world and that sort of thing. So it's a chicken and egg issue somewhat here.
And it's an acting out.
It's an acting out there. And by the way, we're going to get into it tonight. Like I said, we have Joey Pantoliano coming up in a few minutes, and he had alcoholism and maybe sex addiction. And if you have somebody with addict, they act out sexually in ways that are very unpredictable. Let's go to a Facebook. Lisa says, there is a stronger force below the belts of men that overpowers their intelligence and wins every time. It's a struggle. They can't win. I strongly disagree with that. Even though I agree there's a struggle, they can win, and they're healthier and happier when they do.
Yes, well, now, I don't know whether we can say this at this time on HLN, but last night on Loveline...
Now you have to say it.
Okay, last night on Loveline, Drew and I were saying that actually, you know, sometimes when men don't use their brains, their penis becomes their conscience. So sometimes, actually, you know, they're not ruled just by their genitals.
Right. What she's saying is sometimes their body will actually respond in such a way that tells them they shouldn't be doing this. Yeah. That's what we're saying. Mark in Pennsylvania. Go right ahead, Mark.
Make a call, please.
Whoop, Mark's gone. Let's see what we got next up here. Do I have a Facebook?
Took his vows the same as she did.
So I'm sorry, Mark. Mark, I'm sorry. Mark, I'm going to interrupt you. I'm sorry. We missed the first part of your call here. We had the wrong lineup. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm just calling to say that, you know, this woman, his wife, had took the same vows as he did in sickness and his health. Till death do you part. I guess he didn't matter how powerful he was or how rich he was. And just my question is, did he take that as serious as she did?
Mark, this is a really great question, and you're moving into the sort of morality and spirituality issues, which I think are quite relevant here, which is, here's his wife, who took her vows very seriously, is ill with breast cancer.
And here we're talking about John Edwards. And
John Edwards goes out and screws around. I'm sorry, I've lost your name again. Is it Mark? Mark.
Yes.
You need to leave the names up for me there, guys. That's just the way it goes. My memory is not that good these days. Mark, the fact is, though, he did not take the vows as seriously, evidently, and I agree with you. These are sacred vows you take in front of God and everybody in sickness and in health. And by the way, in sickness, as a physician, I see relationships that are severely distressed by illness, and guess what? You hang in. You made that. Mark, you're making a great point. Do you have anything further to say?
I just said I had a kidney transplant. My wife stayed with me. It's been 20 years, so we're still together.
What's her name?
Years.
What's her name?
Alice.
Alice.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what do they say in Britain?
Alice.
Huzzah.
Yeah.
Huzzah to Alice. So.
You go, girl.
Thank you, Mark. I've got one more Facebook here from Lorinda. A man is as faithful as his options, so saith Chris Rock. When it comes to sex, men indeed are stupid. It's not about intellect or stupid, and it is the issue that, you know, we got to ask ourselves, why do women play along with these guys? The women that are the ones that the men cheat with. Do they think that these guys are going to have long-term relationships?
Because they're needy and they're damaged as well, and they're women who love too much and they're desperate for attention, and they, you know, because they can only go for unavailable people.
Yes.
A self-respecting woman doesn't go for a cheater.
Well, I've got Sarah Simons coming up. Do I not in the next segment? Can somebody tell me if she's available still? Okay, I'm gonna go to her right out of this break. She has been somebody that has been cheated with. You can address whether or not she is damaged or not, as you just said. I think she may take that quite personally. Ahead, he starred on The Sopranos. That's after Sarah. But he had a secret life filled with drugs, sex addiction, and depression. Joe Pantoliano is here. He's going to answer your questions. Again, call us at 1-855-Dr. Drew 5. That's 373-7395. And as I said, Sarah Simons when we come back.